Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Great People Only, the podcast by the James. Now, today on the podcast, we've got Jacob Smillie joining us. He's a two-sport professional athlete, and Jacob started out in rugby league with Halifax and Swinton Lions. He earned an international cap while playing rugby union for Jamaica. And he's now playing American football in Europe as a running back and defensive back. Now, some of his standout achievements include that he was one of only 52 athletes invited to the 2021 NFL International Combine. Certainly one of the only athletes ever to be invited from Bradford. He ran the fourth fastest 40-yard dash while he was there. He was selected for the 2022 Canadian Football League Global Draft, and his top sprint speed is 22.79 miles per hour. That is mind-blowingly fast. I cannot comprehend what it would take to run that fast. And he was also a Bradford Sports Award nominee for Outstanding Contribution to Sport 2025. Now, this chat was very, very insightful into what it takes to be an elite level athlete, what it takes to operate at that level. Jacob's a great guy, and it was a very, very insightful chat. So I hope you enjoy it. Thank you. Mr. Smillie, it's a pleasure. Thank you. Really appreciate it. I know that, especially with it being off season, you're kind of getting as much in as you can, so I appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, no problem.
And yeah, mate, honestly, like, it's funny that you knew Kadeem, because when I had Kadeem on recently, Kadeem Williams, and I mentioned your name, the biggest smile just came across his face. He was buzzing, mate. It was as if to say, how do you know, Jake?
Small world, isn't it, really?
Very small, mate, very small. It's like, you are only, like, that, I know it's mad, but that was 6 degrees of separation, but you'd never expect to be that closely related to someone who plays professional American football, you know what I mean? But it is who you know in these games, really. Just like, let's just start with, like, I guess your accolades. What are you kind of like most proud of? What you're doing?
To be honest with you, like, it's just taking each step at a time, you know, being thankful, like, thanking God for everything that that I've accomplished so far. You know, always hungry to achieve more, you know, with the rugby side of things, the American football side of things, and, you know, other stuff as well. So it's always about pushing, working hard, and want to be the best that you can possibly be.
How important is God in, like, your, like, you kind of mentioned that a lot of people, like, you get Tyson Fury, elite athletes, they still kind of give their glory to God, sort of thing. How important is your faith when it comes to what you do?
Everything. Like, my mum's a Christian, my dad's a Christian. My grandparents on my mum's side, my grandparents on my dad's side, all Christians. So, like, I always feel like he's always been there to help me and direct me. And that's the reason why I've, done what I've done. You know, obviously the hard work and all that stuff, but you can't do it without God at the end of the day.
My mum's a Catholic and devout, honestly, and she raised us Catholic. And it's interesting. It's got a massive sense of community, number one. That's what we're all about here at the James. It's about community first. Got a church, community, helping each other. And if you've got, I guess, if you're ever in, like, the kind of like dark times, you've got somewhere, you're never alone, are you? You know, talk to yourself. But thought it never really stuck with me, unfortunately. But then I always find this dead funny that I say I'm agnostic, but then when something's going really wrong, I'm like, please, you know, whoever's out there, I still end up pretty, like, so it's interesting. Whirlwind start there, but here we go. So obviously you're from Bradford, like, Jamaican descent.
Well, half
Jamaican,
Dominican.
And whose sides are they?
So my mum's side, Dominican. Not Republic, just the green flag.
Yeah.
Everyone gets that muddled up, but yeah, the Republic. So it's normal Dominica.
Yeah,
and then half Jamaican as well.
And how did your family end up in Bradford?
Well, that's a long story. Got me on the spot there. So, like, my grandparents was invited over from Dominica, and then same with my dad's side of the family as well. And then that's how it all happened, really.
They settled there. So
yeah. So my mum and dad are from the UK, born and raised in the UK, but just with Caribbean parents.
Yeah. It's good eating.
Yeah.
Tell you what.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
My cousin, he's had kids with a Jamaican lass in Liverpool, and the food is just second to none. Do you know what I mean? So I can be like, yeah, I've been to the barbecue. I know what I'm talking about. Before, it's the best food ever.
Oh, definitely.
But, so when you obviously growing up, and so what did sport mean to you while you were growing up, was it like you forming your identity? Was it a method of escape, or were you just naturally good at it? What was it?
I'll be honest with you. So from a young age, yeah, like let's just say like 6, I was a big wrestling fan. Like I started watching wrestling, like massive. Like I had all the action figures, I had everything. Like big boxing fan as well. Like obviously my dad being a professional boxer himself. Big athletics fan. My mum did track at high school, so that was like the key stuff. Oh, like football fan. I'm a Man United fan.
Yeah.
Rugby as well. I used to watch rugby league a lot when I was younger. The grand finals were Leeds Rhinos and Bradford Bulls. I used to enjoy that. So it was all a mix, really. Different things that kind of interested me in sports. And like I had to go at different things, really. I didn't really stick to one at that point. I was kind of doing different things and just seeing like where, dip my toe in different ones and see which one I enjoyed the most.
It's funny that like they're all quite intense sports. There was all like no darts, no snooker. Literally just boom to 0 to 60 in 10 seconds sort of job. And so it was wrestling was like your first thing that you kind of buzzed off.
So, yeah.
Same,
Yeah,
absolutely.
Sure, yeah, SmackDown on a Friday. Well, to be fair, Raw on Sky 1, 5 o'clock after school. 10 p.m. you watch SmackDown, then you watch Bottom Line at like
Velocity. Like you know what's really funny is that like I remember we used to watch it live with my dad on a Monday. Like we were your dad young, and I swear I'd be like fall asleep and he'd turn it off. I'm like I was watching that. Like, it's just every single week, just couldn't stay awake from it. But it's funny how many people, because obviously it's sports entertainment. We that was our first. Introduction to being active.
Still is watch up to this day.
Yeah, crazy. Yeah,
still is.
Yeah, it's amazing. So, and so how come you decided you wanted to pivot? You gone into rugby, NFL. We'll touch on that. Why did you ever want to? We all wanted to be a wrestler, right?
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Always we wanted to be wrestlers. I mean, obviously, like it's something that I've been doing recently, just as like a later in life dream.
Yeah.
Reckon you, Jacob Smillie, one day?
You never know. Do you know the thing is, my mum's always taught me, like, you never turn an opportunity, you never know what's around the corner. So who knows? Like, who knows what can happen?
Well, you've already achieved so much at 28, right?
27.
27? Yeah, so you've been 28.
Almost there. September.
So you've achieved so much at 27 and, like, you're still going. You're not even into your prime yet. So, like, being a professional athlete in 3 sports, that'd be something, wouldn't it?
Yeah, for sure, definitely. I mean? Like I always say, give God thanks for that. It's all about the hard work, the dedication you put in. Have sacrifices. Really, you don't just wake up and that's it. You've got to literally like, I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't party. You've got to like kind of have that sort of focus on where you want to be. And sometimes like you have some athletes that have one spot where they do well at excel, or you can pivot really.
Yeah, because we've watched you like your training videos and you're pretty active on social media and stuff, and like some of the stuff you do looks like really intense, and like it makes me out of breath just looking at it. But you just seem to be just breathing through your nose the whole time, like you've just like got the conditioning for days. And we were talking about it earlier, but like how long is that taking you really? Let's just try and give people who might be listening.
I'll be honest with you, it's a combination of pre-season. Anybody who plays rugby league who has pre-season will understand this and probably laugh at this right now. Like you go into training. First day of pre-season, you see no rugby balls. Then it's time. It's freezing cold. You go outside. You do all your little conditioning drills, the Bronco test. You got the yo-yo test. That's one thing. Then rugby sevens fitness is up to another notch. Like you think about it, you've got a full pitch with 7 players on each team, and then there
it has to be faster because you're doing more. You're doing more, aren't you? Obviously,
sure,
yeah.
So obviously, like I did some pre-season training with Jamaica Sevens as well. I was lighter than what I was. I was about 83 kilos. But even that, obviously built up your stamina over the years.
And that was with Kadeem, right?
No, that was the rugby league.
Oh, is that the rugby league side?
So there's 2 ones. Obviously.
Oh, right, okay.
You got the rugby league.
Yeah.
So then you've got that. Then you've got a combination of, in-season playing. It's good doing all the running, but if you're not playing, nothing replicates the game itself. Everybody knows that,
Yeah, of course. It's like anything. And the more older I get, the more sports that I tried. Of obviously, like when I was a lot younger and in a bit of better shape, I did a bit of amateur MMA, done jiu-jitsu and stuff. And the thing that you find is you can't get fit at that sport unless you do that sport.
For sure.
It's as simple as that, because even the little nuances of like holding onto the ball, you pop past everything like that, they take time, muscle memory.
Yeah.
To get good at running, you run, right?
Oh, for sure.
You know what I mean? So
you've got to be good at your sport, really. Just practice your sport and just the faster, like as you get up to higher levels, the game just gets faster. That's it. It just gets quicker, and the skill that you have to execute has to be at that time. So your skill level can't stay below. It has to be on par with the speed that you're going at with the game.
Really, really, really good like point there that you're saying is that the skill it just gets faster, and it's you know you're good at a sport when people at home are watching it and think it looks easy. Right?
Yeah.
What would you? How can you get it? What's one thing that you could say to people? Do you know that you get your armchair critics and people watching MMA going, "Oh, I'd just stand up, me." Do you know what I mean? And it drives me crazy as an MMA fan. What's one way that you could like get the message to them that it's not as easy as it looks?
All I'm going to say is like the best way to describe it is the people are out there knows how it feels, and in order to know how it feels, you've got to go and do it. Even if you just go to one session, and then you can see how hard it is. And if you think about it, if you go to like say an amateur team, dial up by times that by 4, and that's what it's like at a higher level.
So even just if someone goes play amateur,
still hard.
They'll be like, right, okay, I need to stop.
Yeah, it's not easy amateur. It's not easy.
Have you dealt with many armchair critics in your career?
You know what? Like in any type of sports, anything that you have, you're always gonna have critics. You're always gonna have negativity. But I just kind of flush away from it really and try and just stay positive. So everyone's gonna always have like an opinion out there.
You seemed quite like zen to it, to be honest. Obviously, I've known you for a little bit now, and you like what everything's like water for ducks back to you. And I'm guessing that's from how resilient you've become from.
Yeah, not always being like that, but like you've just got to think to yourself, like, look where you are now. You know, if you keep thinking about other people think, then what's the point? Do you know what I mean? Like, as long as like if they're giving you positive feedback or constructive feedback, like if you're coachable, that's a different matter. But anything negative or something that's going to get you down, it's not really worth it because you know where you've been, you know what you've had to put in, and
The perfect example, right? Paddy Pimblett, right? He started when he first went into the UFC. Literally everybody was saying he didn't belong there. He wasn't good enough. He wasn't going to get past the top 15. Now he's in like top 10. He's in title contention. And the amount of people that give him so much hate, and he just whatever cracks on with it. Now he's a multi-millionaire, 2 beautiful kids, and like they're still at home, like so it is. You kind of have to develop a hard skin to it, I guess.
Oh, you do, definitely. Yeah. Like I said, in anything, even in any type of life, any way of life, should I say, like you're gonna have critics, people that want to knock you back, say, "Oh, you're not good enough." I've been told that I wouldn't have been pro in rugby. Like a coach said to me, "It did eat the hat if I turned pro," and I did. You just got to. If I listened to that comment, you know, I wouldn't have done it. You know what I mean? I would have been like, "Oh, he's right." So I won't bother. I'll just do something else. But you have to push. You have to keep going and persevering.
See, if your coach is saying stuff like that, and you can kind of not listen to like then you know you've got to. That is just pure resilience, isn't it? Like, you came into the game quite late for an elite sport, for an elite athlete, and what pushed you to like take that jump at like 18? Because a lot of people at 18 are not thinking, let's become a professional athlete. You know, it's like party time, like or you know, go be uni, go and do this. Yeah. What kind of like mental fortitude did it take to make that jump at that age? So
it's like just having sacrifices, really. Like I watched a YouTube video. It was called Progressive Soccer. Different sport, I know, but it was like, am I too late to become a footballer? And I kind of watched that, and I'd be like, yeah, it's never too late. Like it's never too late to do something that you want to do. And I knew I was a good athlete, but funnily, like in high school, I was in the second set for PE. Like. So my aim in my head was like, I know that's not me. I know that I was better than what I thought I was. So I wanted to push myself to the limit. So then I went to college, sports college, and then I managed to just work hard, put my head down, keep going, just like fix my athletic capabilities, you know, reach my potential. And that's how I did it, really.
Here you are. Do you know what I mean? Amazing. It's funny. I do the same. I often find myself going, is 35 too old to become a wrestler? Like, what sports can I be elite in at 36? And it's all like strongmen, jiu-jitsu sort of thing.
DDP started lit.
He did, mate, yeah. And he's the picture perfect poster child for it's never too late.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I guess that there is such. I think now though, athletes are actually going longer and longer, aren't they?
Oh yeah, for sure.
You know, just modern technology,
Recovery,
nutrition, hyperbaric chambers,
yeah,
taking lives off you. You've got that Brian Johnson, who's like, have you seen the guy? He just reversing he claims to have reversed his age like by like 20 years, like just from like his supplement regime. What do you think? How long do you think you might be a professional athlete until?
It's one of them where you can't really decide. It's just as long as you like live the lifestyle, you know, you train hard, you know, recover well, sleep well, you know, be positive, you know, that type of stuff. Then it's as long as you can. Really, there's no number to it. Like I'd love to like look at Ronaldo's 40 years old,
Smashing it.
You know what I mean?
Still world class.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So you never really can put that number on it. But obviously, you want to be playing at the top level, or you want to be playing at an elite level at the longest possible time. Really.
When you went to Doncaster, obviously, like you were the lads that were there, some of them years of experience, some like fresh, just like yourself.
Yeah.
Did you feel like you were playing catch up, or was it like a chip on your shoulder sort of job?
So in terms of union, because obviously, like I'm from North, like Bradford, so it's a rugby league like city. So moving to union was like it was a big one, really, where you've got to like kind of get used to the rules, get used to like obviously the skills that they do, you know, different stuff. But with me, I knew what I could bring, and I knew like my speed, you know, my athleticism would definitely stand out. And all I needed to do there was just fix up my skill, fix up the knowledge of the game. I spent time after practice working on that with players and coaches, you know, constantly working. The first game I didn't actually play. There was another winger there. And then the next game, I thought, you know what, I got a chance, and I thought, you know what, I need to show what I can do. I scored 4 tries in that game.
Nice.
It was an academy game, actually. 4 tries, and since then, I never lost my spot.
Wicked. So it was a case of, I'm here, I'm going to make people notice me. And that it is dog eat dog as well, isn't it? Even though you're on a team with people, it's like, I have to outshine this guy to get a game in it.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean? And like, is it quite, are they quite ruthless? Like, you cut, like, can it be like that?
I wouldn't say as ruthless as football. I'd say it's more like it's more lenient compared to football. So I wouldn't say it can be ruthless. If you don't play bad, obviously the next guy comes in. You know, sports can be like that, but it depends on what sport. You know,
I guess because rugby league and union, it's even though it's a mainstream sport, it's still got like less fans than football. If you know what I mean.
I agree.
So there's going to be more community around it. Whereas because football's so broad, you have communities within it. But because it's so broad, you get people arguing over this and that. I suppose rugby fans are trying to like keep it nice and communal. Do you know what I mean? So you've got a good athlete in rugby. It's like, right, well, we could actually, rather than just be like ruthless because they're a dime a dozen, let's work with this guy, make him better.
Well, that's another thing, playing devil's advocate.
Yeah.
Some places it might not work that way.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see.
You'd think so, but some places might. You know, that's all. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess like it's same as anywhere. And there's going to be ego anywhere, and like it is. I've got quite an eclectic history of things like hobbies and professions and stuff I've tried to do. One thing I found, right, it doesn't matter what you're doing, right. There's 2 kinds of people. There's us and there's them, right. And like even things like I've got a few nerd hobbies. Like one of my downtime things is like playing Warhammer, right, and there's even egos in that, and it's like it's playing toy soldiers and everyone. I think, you know, they just if they get hold of something, it's like, this is my thing, I'm going to gatekeep it or whatever. I guess that's going to be even more prevalent in professional sports.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
And did you have much experience with that?
Yeah, there's always going to be stuff like that really in sports, but it's just how you persevere through it really.
When did you like? So you got the call to Jamaica in 2019.
Yeah.
Did that shift like that? Because you said you had something to prove when you were playing for Doncaster. So when you got that, was that like a pivotal moment? Like, I am fucking good.
It's still like, it's always in the back of your mind, but still, then I was still very hungry. So it's like, I knew what I could do, but I was still very hungry to like perform. I wasn't really thinking about, I'm good, I'm this and that. I just wanted to perform and still showcase what I can do.
So, like, even against, like, Bermuda, were you not like, I obviously belong here? Did you have to tell yourself that?
Oh, no, for sure. I knew I belonged there because of the stats that I was having in the academy season.
Yeah.
But it's just more so, like, I'm still hungry and it's not where I want to be. I want to keep pushing and pushing until I get to where, to even better heights, just to try and be the best player
What kind of stats are you talking about? Let's give them a rundown of like
in terms of my academy.
What you got? Yeah,
I'll be honest with you, top of my head. So the first game was 4 tries. A lot of the times I did score.
yeah.
So I'd say average maybe 2 tries a game in the academy season, probably. Sometimes I scored 4, sometimes I might have scored 1 in the odd, but I don't think I didn't score in that academy season.
So I'm guessing some people don't score any.
Yeah.
So to score every game is like mad impressive, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's definitely something to like. I'm here to prove something with that, and that's that kind of. How do you maintain such like attitude and discipline, man? To just, and I know everybody wants that. That's why, one of the hardest things about losing weight is keeping on like discipline and this and that. How do you maintain it, especially that young?
It's hard, I can't lie. You obviously got a lot of distractions and stuff like that, but you've just got to think what's the bigger picture. And it might not be happening like now, or it might not happen down like in a few years, but you just got to keep going and keep believing in yourself. Because if you don't believe in yourself, then like you said, like there's no point in doing it. Do you know what I mean? So you've got to keep believing in what you can do and believe in your potential. Because some people might not believe in your potential, but it's your job to believe in yourself, and that's the starting point.
Have you got any advice or any ethos that you go by that says a lot of people, it can be a bit of a dark place for the world, some people are like, don't believe in themselves, or they feel like they've got nothing to believe in, and there's no magic potion and nothing you can sprinkle on them or anything like that. But do you think you've got any bit of advice that you've picked up along the way that could help people pick themselves up?
One thing is, like, always, like I say, believe in yourself, trust what you can do, because if you can do that, that's the starting point. Like, try and stay away from negative people, negative friends, like that want to, like, don't want to see you do well. Try and have a circle where, like, you're with people that want to elevate you. That's a massive thing as well, because if they're elevating around you, that means you're going to grow with them as well. And also be happy for other people when they're doing well, because your time's always going to come as well.
You just big each other up, man. Be each other's cheerleaders. And it's like dress for the job you want is the same kind of thing, innit? Like you dress for the job you want, not the job you have. Like, as in, have the people around you that you think will help you, not in like a selfish way, but it's like if you're trying to achieve something in life and you've got people around you that are just like, don't do that, it's shit that, don't do that, you won't get anywhere doing that, then they're not your friend, are they?
No,
do you know what I mean? It's like, voice of reason or whatever. It's like, no, you're not, mate. Like, it's just
you just got to cut that off literally straight away, because that's not going to be good for you long term, and that's where it's going to cause problems and fumble, really, because you're just going to probably believe what they're saying.
Now, did you ever have is there any moments in your career, even up to this point, really, where you've had to kind of listen to your own advice because you've maybe not felt good, or you've had a setback or something negative's happened to you?
Oh, you know what? It happens all the time in sports, really. Like, if you have a bad game, bad training session, you go home, you feel upset about it or annoyed about it, like you could have done better. But like, you've just got to kind of trust the process, really, and keep going along with it.
I suppose is there any truth to you're only as good as your last game then? Or is it like...
I mean, yeah, but there's also other games that you've played as well. Do you know what I mean? So there's 2 sides to it, really.
You can be like, you know what? I know I can do better than that. So that's actually not the case. It's just this like an off day. Everyone has bad days in the office, I guess, don't they? So
that's it.
And you mentioned earlier anyway that you come from Bradford, and obviously like you moved from Union to League.
Well, it's a funny one with that, actually, because I started off playing league as an amateur.
Oh, okay.
And then I dipped my toe into Union.
Oh, okay.
Did like a season at Donny Knight's Academy.
Yeah.
And because I was studying in Doncaster as well, so
Right.
It made sense.
Yeah.
Trained with Jamaica Sevens and played for the Jamaica 15s national team. And then that's when I went and signed with Halifax Panthers.
So when you did that, was that a case of like, oh, I'm ready to reinvent myself, or were you just going where the flipping opportunity was?
I went where the opportunity was, and that's literally it.
Yeah.
Literally, like I was finishing up a season in Doncaster, and then I was literally about to start with Halifax in December, so it was kind of a big crossover thing. But I just felt personally at that time that Halifax was the better way for me to go in terms of opportunities.
You did a pretty legendary try at Halifax, didn't you?
Yeah.
So give us a bit of a breakdown of how you caught, how that happened, and the ramifications of such an amazing feat, basically.
Well, it was a funny story. I'll go from the actual...
Yeah, let's go for it, man.
I ended up meeting up with a rugby legend called Jason Robinson, and we had like a conversation about like what code would be best for my career going forward. So we had the conversation. I had the game late that day, and then to be honest with you, playing union kind of helped me in terms of like running and like running at different angles and stuff like that. So it was kind of unconventional in terms of when you catch the high ball, you want to kind of go to the 50s, which is in the middle of the field.
Mhm.
With me there, I kind of went on the edge, and then it was more so instinct. I can't really tell you like why I did it or what happened. It's more instinct really in reading what the defender's doing with the hips or with the feet. And it just really happened like that.
And you just
A mix of sevens, a mix of union, a mix of league altogether, really.
he just blew past everyone. Like it's just how did it feel? Was that like a bit of like a breakthrough for you, as if to be like, I've actually just done something here like that is, highlight reel worthy sort of thing.
It felt good, but then
Yeah.
you just got to switch off and go for the next game, really. Like, that's how I had to do it, because, the try went across social media. You have Martin O'Fire retweeting, you've got agents asking you to, sign with them. You've got teams having a look at you, and I managed to train with the first team more, so that's how I managed to dip my toe into the first team. But then the week after, the next game, I did a similar try as well, so you just got to keeping up the momentum.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's what...
You can't let one big moment in like ride off the coattails of it, I guess, can you? Because again, that comes into checking your ego,
Yeah.
and knowing that I did great there. Boom, let's put that in the back pocket.
Yeah.
You've got that there. Great, got you some attention. Social media is so important now.
Oh yeah.
Everybody's like, John Terry's defensive diving header. That was legendary.
Yeah.
Mankind being thrown off the top of the Hell of the Cell. That's like going to live forever, isn't it? And everyone's kind of chasing that moment. But you can't let that be the only reason that you play for, I guess, can you?
Sure,
Do you know what I mean? It was more of a happy accident that it happened as opposed to what your goal was. Yeah, so you've ran this massive try. It's gone all over social media, and you thought to yourself, you had that like one viral moment, but then you're doing front flips into tries and like I take it that kind of got you the same kind of attention, really.
I mean, like, so yeah, it was. I think I scored 2 tries that game, and there was like a player on the other side that was like trash talking in the middle of the game. So I kind of was like, okay, I'll make. In fact, before the game, we made a new play. It was called I think it was like the Smillie play or the J play, where you do a cross field kick, and I just literally he's gonna kick it like to the other side of the field, like deep kick it. And I was going to run onto it and chase it because I knew that nobody was going to outpace me to the ball. So...
And what made you go, you know what, we're a front flip here?
You know what, it was just one of them where... It was just one of the... It was the heat of the moment. And the funny thing is I actually landed it as well. So it worked well. But...
Can't even do a front flip on a trampoline, man.
Yeah, do you know what? I'm always big on like expressing yourself and like giving stuff for the audience and making it entertaining. And I know... Like, some coaches aren't really too big on that, but my thing is, like, if the fans enjoy it and you're not injured or anything by doing it, I think it's really good, because if you look at the NFL, for example, guys are doing it every week and it's getting views. People are like, look at Tyreek Hill doing a backflip. Look at these guys doing flips. So I just feel that's what's missing in the game right now in rugby league, where there's... in the NRL, you'll see it. You'll see the characters. You'll see like different stuff going on. But I think that's what's missing, really. Like,
It's showmanship.
Yeah, like you need to kind of like get. I know it's different to the. I know you want to play the game well and stuff like that, but you also want to entertain the fans even more and the other stuff. You see in other sports, like I said, NFL, football. Nani did a backflip when he scored. Stuff like that. Like, you just want to entertain the fans and give them a good night, really.
It's like, I've never been a darts fan, but I couldn't look away from Luke Littler.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was entertaining, the story, like the youngest guy, like ever. Like when Ronnie O'Sullivan used to play left-handed shots, and the referee told him off for gamesmanship. You know what I mean? And it's just like every sport needs a bad boy.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So
you know what? But yeah, bad boy. But also you need to have them characters, because when you have the characters, people remember him. Like, I used to remember Nani by the backflip, literally. Brilliant player, but I remember him with the backflip celebration every time he scored.
is it your
Gonna do backflip.
yeah? Even things like Edgar Davids with his glasses.
Glasses, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
And that was entertaining to see him running around with them on, and like.
Yeah.
You're right, you need more characters. I suppose they could take a play out of pro wrestling, really, couldn't they?
Definitely. Like,
Do you know what I mean?
100%. And I think that's what's missing in the English rugby league game.
It's the one sport that does do that is MMA,
Yeah,
the UFC.
yeah,
Colby Covington,
yeah,
master heel.
yeah.
He's not allegedly he's not like he is when he puts himself forward. Chael Sonnen, loads of them, and gets bums on seats, man.
That's what it's all about.
You know what I mean?
That's what it's for.
It's like prize fighting, innit?
Yeah,
It's money,
yeah.
and the same again. You want people to watch you, people to know your name, and it's just like you just want to do your job to the best of your ability.
Exactly. Turn it up a notch.
And oh mate, like it was like you were always primed for the NFL.
Do you know what? Like back in them days, it never really crossed my mind. Obviously, like I was just so focused on the rugby side of things, and like I've always been taught never to turn down an opportunity, but it was just one thing where I'm blessed that it's happened, but like I never knew it was gonna happen like so fast, or I never knew it was gonna happen at that time. Do you know what I mean? I was just so focused on what I was doing then.
For me, 9 years into your career, oh yeah,
Around that, yeah.
yeah. It's just gone. Everything's just blurred
Yeah,
together
it's
so
gone-
quick
it's
for
gone-
you, aren't it?
yeah,
Yeah, and I bet like blinking you'll miss it, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, we just mentioned like you're a Bradford boy, born and bred. When you got the call for Bradford Bulls, was that like a crowning moment for you? Were you proud to be representing your home team?
Yeah,
like,
definitely.
yeah.
Growing up watching Bradford Bulls live, like, Les Vanacola, Paul Deacon, Robbie Paul, them to Shantae and Hart, pretty like very good players. Like, so yeah, it was a very good moment going there. If I had to go back, and say, was that the right choice? Depending on the situations, like I always say, like everything happens for a reason, really. That's all I'm gonna say. And like every choice that you make always has like a purpose, really.
Even if that purpose is to tell you that you made a mistake, or if that purpose is to tell you that to teach you a lesson that you can do better or whatever, is that what you mean?
But then at the end of the day, like it was cut short as well with COVID.
Yeah, of course.
So then after that, like we were just obviously in lockdown.
When the pandemic did shut everything down, was it a case of like, did it break your momentum, or what did you do as a professional athlete to keep sanity, keep sharp? Like, what happened?
I was still kind of new to the game, so I was just refining my skills, really, just working on that. I made a gym in my house, so I was still training, I was still in shape. I was doing sprints when I was allowed to go outside. So I was still training, staying active. My diet was still on point, so it was just not playing games, not in a team environment, but it didn't stop me, really. It kind of gave me a time to work on my skills and work at a faster pace, really.
There's a lot of self-reflection as well.
Yeah, definitely. But like I just kind of made a plan together and just seeing what, yeah.
And like, were you able to take advantage of the elite athlete status at that time?
The second time round, because the first time round nobody was allowed to, but the second time round when I signed at Swinton, we was able to train during COVID.
You've been around then, haven't you? Swinton, yeah, like it's local.
So that was after lockdown, and then I signed with Swinton Lions.
Bet that was liberating, like being able to, I can go outside.
Do you know what? It was still a very tough one, really. Like, obviously, we have to wait in the cars, have our tests, and then go back in. And then once we get positive, when we go negative or positive, obviously, if you're clear, you go inside, then you start training. It was still very restricted. You couldn't really use the gyms or anything like that. So it was very restrictive sessions. So it was still not the same as normal.
But you rode it through and didn't let it beat you down. You just kind of went with it, I guess.
Sure.
And so, was it how long after you took this time? You're saying you're new to the game, and between then, like when COVID kind of went away, when did the NFL jump happen? What was the thought process? Why did you go like, you know what, I fancy that?
Well, it was more sort of like I just got a massive opportunity to, because obviously with the NFL now, they've got the international player pathway and they have they made the player pathway combine, and I got invited to it, really, and I thought that was a once in a lifetime opportunity. And to be honest with you, at that point with rugby league, like I was saying to you before, like I felt like I wasn't able to express myself, like in terms of, I don't know, like the game is good, don't get me wrong, but like I feel like I want to test myself against the best athletes in the world, and I feel like the NFL have the best athletes in the world. one of many, one of many sports.
They've got a lot of there's really high percentage of multidiscipline athletes, haven't they?
Oh, for definite. Yeah, and I'm watching clips like I used to watch games, but not in depth as I do now. But like I used to watch a lot of training clips, and I'm like, that's how I train. Like even when I played rugby, I trained like that, and it was kind of funny because when I watch them, I'm like, this is exactly what I do. So maybe why don't I have a look at that, and then it just happened really where I got where I managed to get the opportunity.
Like it's just, I guess, because the training is so intense and it's so hard, and like you say, that you got to be so athletic. I guess it's one, if you want to be good at a few sports, it's not a bad place to start, is it really, with the stuff that they do?
For sure.
Like, sorry, I'm just getting yeah. So one prime example for me, Herschel Walker, right? What a freak of nature that guy was, man. Fighting in MMA in his 40s because of how well conditioned he was. Do you feel like that's good? I talk about your longevity before.
Yeah.
Do you feel that kind of training has been instrumental in your like?
Oh, it's definitely helped. Yeah, 100%. Like I say, like rugby league has given me the foundations and to be seen, and that's how I always see it. So I'm always grateful for having that sport to begin with. I feel that's a sport that helped me like to get myself out there.
And you're saying that you've got those skills from rugby league, from rugby in general. What made you want to be a running back then? Was that like...
I just felt with my body shape, like they thought that would be the best fit for me, in terms of like, my speed, my size, my height. And they kind of put me into that, I thought that was the best type of like position for myself and the best for an athlete to transition into the game.
And when you were talking about when you were talking about the international combine just a moment ago there, when you were lining up for the 40-yard dash, like was it like was that going through your mind knowing you'd already basically done it a million times?
Well, I had 8 weeks of prep, but like it's still like you want to have the best possible score. It's still something that you want to try and be good at. And for me, I know I put the work in. I worked hard, and I always work hard. So I just thought, as long as I do my best, that's the main thing.
You're talking about like the combine and 40-yard dash. You've got elite players like Tyreek Hill. He's got a speed clocked at 23.24 miles per hour. Where do you stack up in terms of that?
So my top end speed, my PB right now is 22.79 miles an hour, and this was for a 40-yard dash I did actually in 2023, I think. Yeah. So I got a 4:47 electronic times there.
I've seen you on Instagram, man. You're still rapid, mate. Rapid. It says Tyreek Hill has like in 2025 at a track meet here, 26 miles per hour on the track.
Yeah, he's different.
That's like a car.
Yeah, he's that guy, man, for sure. He's that guy.
Did you? But you're obviously in your increments below, not like miles away. You're so close to it, right? What's the difference between where you are and where he is? Because on paper, 4 miles per hour doesn't sound like a lot, but to put that through a human body's got to be.
Oh yeah, definitely. So
like, how do you get there?
I mean, it can come with a lot of things, genetics, like the amount of training you do. Like, think about it, he's gone to college for like years, world-class facilities, and obviously the NFL, you've got world-class facilities there, so it can come from numerous factors like genetics. He's a freak athlete, he's really good as an athlete. Then you've got like obviously your facilities that surround you at that time, your nutrition, the environment that you're in as well, different climates and stuff like that.
And what does your nutrition look like? I think a lot of people, when they listen to these podcasts, and they think that they hear what a professional athlete eats, it'll make them into a professional athlete. So
with diets, like for me, I kind of keep it like 90 to 10 or 80 to 20, 80 good and obviously 20 bad, or 90 good and 10 bad, because I feel like you have that balance really. As long as you're hitting your macronutrients, and you're hitting the calories that you need to hit, I think that's the most important thing. And if you do want to have a bad meal, I kind of stick to it to be like maybe once a week, maybe twice at the most a week. But I kind of be consistent with it. I have the same foods all the time, really. And the best thing is just staying consistent, having the right macronutrients, like, your carbs, your proteins, your good fats. And you can't really go wrong, really. There's no magic portion to it.
We were just talking about the international player pathway, and obviously, like you weren't selected for that. And how did we were talking about setbacks earlier? Did that feel like was that like a devastational blow, or did you just pick yourself up, carry on?
Do you know what? It's a massive devastation because obviously I got the four fastest 40-yard dash time.
Mhm.
I thought I did well. I thought I performed well, but at the end of the day, like I didn't get selected. But the big thing that I can take on it is like I was one of many. It was like 52 athletes from around the world. We're not just talking like the UK. We're talking about these guys from Nigeria, these guys from Japan, guy from Germany, guys from all around the world, and I was selected for it. Like it wasn't the fact of I was happy to be there. I wanted to obviously, get the job done. But like end of the day, I feel like having that can also elevate me and help me to try and get other opportunities, which it has done.
We just talked about your American football career, and obviously, like you're playing in Europe, and during those European camps and the signings, what did you learn about yourself?
You know what? Like everybody asks me, what is it like to play abroad? And like the big thing is like it's obviously you're leaving your family behind, your friends and stuff like that, but you've just got a goal in your head to, achieve what you go out to achieve. It can be difficult at times, like depends on where you're at. Like some teams are really, really good at looking after you. Some teams aren't. Like for every like a player in Europe knows like some teams would be, some teams will really look after you, give you everything that that they'll say, and then some teams might not, but you just got to kind of like persevere through it and just have you focus on getting the stats you need, playing well, being consistent, and that's it really. Just having that tight knit support network.
It's funny. It's funny that you say that. Obviously, with you signing for the New York Lions in 2024, did that feel like the first step into like, oh, I've made it, or was it just like the next chapter? What was that like moment like?
You know what? With the New York Lions, obviously they're one of the most prestigious clubs in Germany. It was a very good like team, a very good historic club. But the thing is with football, like you want to, in terms of football, you have different styles, though. You have different like ways of playing, different plays that fit that system. And for me, I felt like my style, like speed back, explosive, fast. It didn't fit like their style of play really. They're like a more power orientated back that like big type backs. And it's not that it's not like I'm not like a strong back. Obviously, I'm a strong guy, but it's the fact of like it didn't suit my style of play simply with that really. And then obviously, when it doesn't suit your style of play, then you know you don't fit the scheme really.
You never really consider that teams have styles. Do you just assume that someone plays that position, someone plays this position, and it's a case of is this person on the opposite team as good as me in my position?
Yeah.
Suppose you did. It's like styles make fights. Yeah, same kind of ethos, isn't it? But I never considered it like that. It's quite interesting.
Yeah, you've got a mix of running backs.
Yeah.
You've got like a big guy like Derrick Henry, Saquon Barkley. Then you've got like guys like Devin Achin at Miami. Smallish guy, but he's absolutely rapid.
Mm.
Like, there's different styles really, and you have to like kind of take into consideration what style are they playing. Are they playing like a traditional style? One up, like inside zone. They're playing just like power. They're playing just power inside game. Or you're gonna go somewhere dynamic, like your 49ers or your Dolphins. That'll go to outside zone. They'll do a stretch play. They'll give you a toss play where you can actually have a bit of space to run.
You mentioned those teams, and is there any one team that you'd love to get the shout from?
You know what? Like everybody asks me, like what team, but you know what? You gotta be grateful for any team that you go to, and as long as it fits your style of play, then that's it, really.
So what's next now? Then you've got such a prestigious like list of accolades, bit amazing athletic CV, if you will. What are you doing next? Is rugby back on the cards? American football? Do you want to continue to play that? What's next?
You know what? I'm just blessed that I'm able to, I've had the ability to play at a good level, and play these sports high level. Obviously, everyone says it's hard to play one professional sport, and obviously I've done two, which is something that I give God thanks for. So I'm in a position where like there's options available, and we'll just see what happens really.
Yeah, I suppose you could float between the two if you wanted. You know what I mean? Depends on how you go.
Well, you know what? It's always something. The thing is with me, yeah, like something that's it's gonna be beneficial for me long term. What's gonna be stable for myself, and what's gonna help me achieve my goals, and that's how that's how you put it.
And the end of the day, it is about looking after yourself, looking after your family, putting down like foundations for you to ride off into the sunset, I guess, isn't it? I mean, it's all nice, like being proud of what you do, but you need to be able to make bread at the same time, don't you, mate? So
For sure, anytime the professional word's involved, people say like, oh, it's not about the money, which it isn't really, but when professional is
it
involved,
helps, doesn't it?
money comes into play.
Yeah, of course.
Always, like, the one advice I give you is always to know your worth in something, like, because if you don't, that's when you'll start getting lowballed, and stuff like that. So
People
always
taking
know-
advantage of it.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. So you always gotta like know what you can bring and know what you can do, and always like believe what you can do, and that's what's gonna help you.
It's getting like I keep going back to like the wrestling anecdotes just because we're both massive wrestling fans, obviously.
Yeah, for sure.
But even MJF, AEW wrestler, MJF was, when he was doing his indie shows, was charging like $150 for his signed portraits from day one. He was just like, right, no, this is what I'm going to value myself at from day one. And now he's a very amazing wrestler, hot commodity, acting in Hollywood.
Football, for a linebacker as well.
Yeah.
All-American linebacker. Yeah.
So he's got the athletic pedigree as well.
Sure,
So obviously he knew that he's got that already. So there you go.
Yeah.
Know your worth. Simple as that.
Ah, definitely.
And it must be a crazy, like, again, like knowing your worth and things that come along that help you realise what you're worth, and is knowing that, number one, you have fans, but number two, so when those fans are pretty high profile people, aren't they, Jake? Like, so tell us about, like, you were mentioning before, you're being wished a good season by probably some of the most elite athletes on the planet. So, Ricky Hatton, God rest his soul, and a few others. Talk us through that.
Do you know what it is? Like, when you're involved in that sporting environment and stuff like that, you meet people along the way.
Yeah.
And with myself, I always ask other athletes on advice on what they're doing. Like, prime example, like Jermaine Defoe, like, one of the best strikers I've ever seen in the Premier League, but he's played for a number of years, a long time. Like Nicholas Anelka again, both of those guys, prolific strikers, played for a number of years. And if I could have like some advice of them, which I have done, like, it helps me out a lot because they've been in the top level for a number of years. If you look at like sprinters like Gatlin, Johan Blake, not to name drop, like,
but these are all people that
these are the guys that I used to look up to, like, in terms of which I still look up to now, like world class athletes, one of the best sprinters that you've ever seen. So it's always good to speak to them guys because they've achieved like massive things in their sport, and it's always good to see what they're doing in like behind the scenes and stuff like that. You look at boxing, like you look at like Dillian White, for example, Ricky Hatton, God rest his soul. Like there's a lot of guys in there where if you can have a chance to just ask for some sort of advice, then you're going to obviously take it because they've been at the highest point.
And I bet they've all got like some really good nuggets of information to share, aren't they?
Sure,
You know what I mean?
definitely, yeah.
It must be really surreal knowing that, like, you've got the network of, like you mentioned before, surround yourself with people where you want to go. Your circle is just elite level athletes, like, is crazy, but high profile as well. And just being out knowing that you can turn to them for advice if you so wanted to. But that's really comforting, man. Like, when did that become your reality?
You know what it is? Like, I don't really always want to ask questions all the time because obviously they've got their own life to live, but whenever you need them, like for some sort of like, advice on, what do you do this, like, well, what's your diet like, or what did you do in this situation, always going to be there to give you that, the advice, and that can help an athlete massively, even if it's a different sport, because it just helps motivate them, because it motivates like the person, because if you're wanting to try and achieve the things that they've achieved, you want to see what they're doing.
Straight from the horse's mouth, isn't it?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
See what they're doing, really. You know what I mean? So, like, if they're doing something a certain way and you're not maybe doing it right now, maybe like you could try that out and see if it works for yourself.
Like they say, don't they, that like, again, wrestling. But if you want to get good, if you want to learn character work for wrestling, or you want to try something new in wrestling, don't watch wrestling because it's all been done.
Yeah.
So if there's other elite level athletes from like different sports, they're doing some sort of training method.
Yeah.
Could be the secret sauce that you need.
Yeah, that's it.
I did want to ask, like, I think you're in quite a unique position where obviously I'm not downplaying your achievements or your accolades, but you're at that level. Like, you don't have like the abundance of fame that a lot of like athletes do, obviously. So is that like in
terms of high level athletes?
Yeah. You're a high level athlete, right? You play high profile sport. You've done what you do, but you don't have that almost burden of being paparazzied, chased by whatever.
Yeah.
Right. Not that you like.
No, I get it.
Yeah,
I get it.
yeah. So what's that like? I bet that's really nice and liberating. Or it's just a job. Like, so
You know what it is?
yeah.
Like, I figured this one out. Like, say for example, like rugby league, for example, like the top players, like they're famous. Don't get me wrong, but compare that to a Premier League footballer.
Yeah.
So that's one thing. So I'd say it's more of a localized fame.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
When you go to rugby union, that's a localized fame for the South. But then if you're playing for England, then it's more coming to the global side of it, but not massively compared to an England Premier League footballer, right? So then when you go to American football in Europe, you're going to be well known in Germany. Like when you step out into Braunschweig in Germany, like people know who you are. But then when you step back into like, just say down the road, just say down the road, they might not know who you are. So it kind of depends on where the fan base is, really. Do you know what I mean?
Of course, yeah.
But then the thing is now, how can you get yourself to that level where everybody knows who you are? And that's just by building different fan bases, really, and getting people to invest in like what you're about to do or what you're doing. And that's a massive thing, really, as an athlete, is to try and have that brand.
Well, a great man once said, if people aren't buying your product, take the product somewhere else. You know?
Facts, yeah.
And that's what you're doing, aren't you? You know what I mean? Just be your own personal brand. Like, you want to become your own, like, you want to be a silhouette of yourself. When people see your silhouette, they want to know who that is. And that comes from branding, personal branding, stuff that you do online. And, but yeah, it must just be like, I can't imagine the life of a elite pro level like athlete or whoever just being papped everywhere. It can't be good, man. It can't be like a nice experience. I mean, unless they'd love it.
Yeah.
Unless you're Dennis Rodman. You know what I mean?
I mean, like, in terms of like, I'm guessing like when you speak to athletes, you kind of want to, you want to ask for advice, but then you want to kind of switch the conversation, ask about something else, because you can imagine they'll be getting it all the time. That's one thing as well.
Do you think that, like, no, you've achieved great things in your life. No, it's the thing is, mate. You say cheers. It's fact. You've got your own Wikipedia page, for God's sake. It's like that's some people aspire for that, and like once it's all said and done, right? What does greatness actually mean to you? How would you define it?
You know what? It's like taking me a long time to kind of think like what greatness is defined as, but like the way I see it is, it's people think, oh, like I'm doing it for people's like praise, or people to say, oh, he did well and stuff. But for me, it's just more so of what's good for me, really. Where do I feel that when do I feel that I'm satisfied in my achievements? And for me, I'm never really satisfied until like I just keep going until I can't go. Like that's how I see it.
And like, is that comes back to you saying that you're still hungry?
Oh, for sure, yeah. I'm always hungry, yeah.
And when it's all said and done, you get to, you got your picture album. This is your life, sort of thing. What's like the top echelon? Like, what do you want to have achieved? What one thing that if you can look back to, it'd be like something to make your future self proud, basically.
Well, I put it this way: like, if you look at like athletes like Brock Lesnar, for example, yeah, he's done numerous sports, hasn't he? He's done his wrestling, he's done like Olympic wrestling,
UFC heavyweight champion,
UFC. He's done the WWE. He's done the NFL,
NCAA. Probably one of the most accomplished amateur wrestlers to ever fight in the UFC.
Yeah, so then everyone looks at him like, not comparing to him, but I'm saying like everybody looks at him and thinks, wow, he was like a phenomenal athlete. And that's where I want to go down the road, as like he was a very good athlete and
yeah,
he lived up to his expectations.
Even now, at nearly 48 years old, he's still an animal as well. And that's obviously, genetics, technology, and training methods and stuff. And that just goes to show.
You look at The Rock.
Yeah.
Like I said, college football, the CFL, and then into wrestling, into acting, like different stuff like that. Just is known worldwide at different things.
You've done a bit of modelling.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean?
I have indeed, yeah. See, the thing is, it's not about like jumping from one thing to another. It's more so like, you have your goals, and like you just like, I've always been taught never to turn down an opportunity, and if an opportunity comes your way that is massive, then go for it. You never know what can come of it.
I guess we were talking about your like your personal brand and everything like that. It's important these opportunities align, one, with your personal brand,
Oh yeah.
your beliefs, and like say your goals. And I know money talks, but sometimes it's just not worth selling your soul, is it? I guess, you know what I mean. Have you had? Do you get a lot of like opportunities? Do you think, wow, this isn't something I would never even consider doing?
Well, even with the NFL, I'd like if you'd have asked me this like maybe like a good few years ago into playing rugby, I never knew that was going to be the case. You know what I mean? Like you just don't, you don't think of it really. So it's stuff like that really where you can't turn down the opportunity, and it's such a big opportunity to have. Like, you're gonna go for it, and that's the thing. Like people think, oh, some people's like, right, you just want to stick to one spot. Yeah, fair enough, I get that, but if a big opportunity comes your way, then you're definitely gonna go and take it if you feel like it's gonna elevate you. And I feel like rugby as being like a platform to help me to elevate me to to other things as well.
Yeah, again, NFL, and who knows where the NFL take you from American football and like playing for the NFL and stuff. Who knows where that'll take you next day, mate?
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, Jacob, you've been amazing. Thank you so much for coming on. It's been a pleasure. Where can we find you online?
So you got Jay Smillie on Instagram, Jay Smillie on TikTok.
Of course.
Jay Smillie on everything,
Jay Smillie on everything, yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, for any of the Gen Z out there for a bit of TikTok action. But yeah, mate, pleasure. Thank you so much, man. Appreciate it.